Aus Wien, the gentle Mensur Suljovic. Es ist nicht nur das Duell zweier Top-10-Spieler, es ist das Duell zweier Sieger der International Darts Open. Und er stand 2014 im WM-Finale. Er hat die UK Open 2017 gewonnen. Auf ihn freut ihr euch auch ganz, ganz groß. Aus Schottland, Ladies and Gentlemen, Snakebite, Peter Wright.
You're thinking that you can outthink me, but you can't, frankly. Que no pare la fiesta, don't stop the party. Que no pare la fiesta, don't stop the party. I'ma give it to you, now give it to me, I'ma give it to you, now give it to me,
Gerwyn Price has just booked his place in the quarter-finals. We've just seen the 2018 International Darts Open champion move through, and now we've got a match-up between the 2017 and 2016 International Darts Open champions as Peter Snakebite Wright goes up against Mensur Suljovic in what should be the match of this last 16 session here on Sunday in Riesa. The winner of it will face either Adrian Lewis or Johnny Clayton. That's coming up next. Peter Wright and Mensur Suljovic all smiles before the match starts. Suljovic pretending that he was going to trip Snakebite up on his familiar walk-on routine, but he has tripped him up a fair few times in recent meetings. In fact, Suljovic has won all three of their meetings in 2019. And Peter Wright has only managed to beat him once in their last 9 battles. And to be honest, Mark Webster, perhaps he shouldn't have beat him then either.
No, the clash you're talking about, Mensur was in the Grand Prix. Mensur had a 3-0 lead. Peter Wright came back at him to get to the final, eventually falling short. There's Michael Van Gerwen in that final, but yeah, it's obviously a concerning record for Peter Wright. And Mensur's taken care of him on the stage 3 times this year. Twice in the Premier League and once in the UK Open, and he's got the crowd on his side, crowd behind him this afternoon.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Mensur to throw first. Game on!
Yeah, they've had some brilliant battles, and this could be added to that list. Mensur Suljovic, a winner in Austria on the Euro Tour a fortnight ago, a victory that he described as the best of his career.
Yes, on home soil there's that added pressure, but he dealt with it well. And what a final, going down to the deciding leg with the world number 1 Michael Van Gerwen and his old faithful double 14 helping him out to clinch the title. Incidentally, the last time these two met on the European stage was back in the Danish Open last year.
66.
Surprised that superior record meant Suljovic coming out on top.
Good start for Snake Bites. Piling in a maximum against a throw in the first leg. He knows what kind of stuff he's going to have to produce against this man. Not only does he seem to be his nemesis in the last couple of years, but that UK Open match that you mentioned, Mark, Peter Wright averaged 106 and it wasn't enough to see off Suljovic in Minehead.
I'm pretty sure they just played in the Premier League the night before in Exeter, so Peter Wright was well and truly sick of Mensah Suljovic that week. Mensah had a straightforward passage last night with a 6-0 defeat of Harry Ward. Peter Wright, on the other hand, though, wasn't plain sailing. He trailed Richie Edhouse by 3 legs to 0. Eventually getting over the line 6-4, but was given a good workout by Edhouse.
A maximum apiece in the opening leg. But Snake Bites has a chance to break on the ball.
Game shown at first leg.
It's it. What a finish from Peter Wright.
Second leg, Peter
After the maximum from Mensah Suljovic to leave a 2-darter. A 1-2-1 combination, and it's a breaker throw. That's the first leg conceded for Mensah Suljovic in this year's International Darts Open.
Yeah, Peter Wright dug these darts out of a drawer before heading over here, and it took him a little while to get them going yesterday. He was under pressure for much of the match against Richie Edhouse, but slithered out and booked his place in this final day, and it hasn't taken him a while to wake up in this match, but Suljovic is at it from the off as well.
To be expected with the experience of these players, no early nerves. Straight in there, 2 maximums apiece.
44.
Yeah, we billed it as a match of the afternoon, and it certainly has started in that vein. Suljovic has started perfectly in this leg. That run comes to an end, but he's
100.
got a half-decent chance to break straight back.
Peter Wright was in immense form late June, early July, going into the World Match Play. With back-to-back Pro Tour wins and the World Series German Darts Trophy winner. Went into Blackpool, and after Michael van Gerwen was eliminated, many people thought Peter would go on and lift the title. But for a superb performance from Daryl Gurney stopping him.
84.
Well, Suljovic tried to use the bullseye of benefit there, but he missed the 25 segment completely and had actually left himself a much tougher combination than he would have if he just stayed straight on the 20s. He would have been able to repeat Wright's trick from the first leg with a 1-2-1. And he's not going to take out the 1-3-7, so Peter Wright has a chance to double his advantage.
97.
What was the risk of using the bullseye? You can literally hit any segment on the board, and it was to Mensah's detriment. We saw Peter Wright take 1-2-1. Can he back it up with another 10+ finish? He's going to get a dart. He should get a dart. Oh, he didn't. Tops for the 2-leg lead.
97.
Just short.
Let's see you require.
Wright misses tops. Suljovic down to double 10. A long way away. Puff of the cheeks from Mensah Suljovic.
20.
Puffed and puffed, and he hasn't taken it out.
Peter, you require 20.
Disappointment for Mensah, carving out the opportunity. 3 missed darts, and you expect Peter Wright to put away this double 10. Is he going to return the favour and miss 3 darts a double himself?
10
He has
score.
done.
Mensah, you
Well, the first
require
2 legs
20.
are becoming worlds apart. Brilliant stuff in leg 1. Missed doubles in leg 2. Will it go on? Mensah Suljovic built a bridge to the double 10 and bridged the gap, albeit a small one. But an important one, 'cause it does get the match back on throw straight away.
Yeah, 6 start at the double, but he used the guide well. Like you said, Chris, gets that break straight back.
59.
An interesting one, this, because the crowds generally support each of these players, whoever they're playing with. It does sound as if Suljovic has got them on the side against Snakebite here.
Yeah, as you said that, Chris, you heard that one gentleman in the crowd shouting out for Peter Wright. Yeah, they're well and truly behind Mensah this afternoon. That wasn't the case last night when we saw Peter Wright.
Yeah, the Snakebite wigs were everywhere to be seen, but looking in the backdrop there, not many of them on show here.
Yeah, they've been chanting Peter's name all night last night. His last game on, they'd waited for him all night and he didn't disappoint after an early scare.
Well, maybe Saturday night was all right, but Sunday belongs to Suljovic.
One right on 40.
Must be one of them in there somewhere, Mark. You heard him.
Yeah, the lonely chant of Peter Wright.
81.
There he is. Some effort, that, isn't it?
Yeah, kudos, that's a great effort.
He's actually made more effort than Peter Wright to look like Peter Wright. Don't enter the lookalike competition, Peter. You'll come second.
96.
Discount from Mensah. So no finish. So 2 treble visit for Peter Wright, and it's a maximum for Peter Wright. So he's down to a finish. And Mensah, all he can do is lay up the shot. Stay down there. May just stay down there still to round us off. More last couple of visits from Suljovic, and now we're looking at a third breaker throw on the spin for treble 18. Double 16 for another breaker throw.
89.
Peter Wright goes inside.
Just looking at the darts and the ball there, it does look like Peter Wright has at least changed the points from yesterday. The barrels are the same, but the points do look different. Look like very much like the points that Rob Cross uses. Try and get a look at that at some point. Suljovic has a look at this.
96. Peter requires 16.
It was only a quick glance, and it wasn't the image that he wished to see.
We see the point. They are very similar cross points, but
Peter Wright
working so far for Peter Wright. 3 breaks a throw.
Game on.
We're hoping to put an end to that disastrous run of defeats this year against Mensah Suljovic. How do you beat Mensah Suljovic, Mark? If only we had someone who's got a winning record with us. Oh, we have. You've got the knack of seeing off Suljovic, haven't you?
Well, I think he's beat me the last couple of meetings, but yeah, I have a really good record against Mensah Suljovic. I wouldn't overly say I enjoyed playing him.
7 in a row you had.
It's
a gentle.
Yeah, I think he was when he beat me last year on the Pro Tour, and it was like instant relief for him.
41.
I think he beat me early on in his career. Particularly, I played him a couple of times in Austria when we used to play Pro Tours out there. But yeah, he's a hard man to beat, and there's no secret. I just maybe just got lucky on those occasions,
right.
But.
82.
It's a cookie to crack.
Get lucky once, Mark, maybe twice. 7 times on the spin. I think you do yourself a disservice. Of course, the big one was at the World Championship in 2016.
Played him twice at the World Championship. I drew him in the first round in 2013 as well, and he was on 57 to save the match, and he hit 2 twos, which I was very grateful for.
Yeah, Mark Webster that year went on to reach the quarterfinals, as Peter Wright went on to reach the final. Hasn't been back there since. Still does only have one big major title to his name, Peter Wright, and I think that surprises many people because he has been dining at darts' top table for a number of years now.
Yeah, he had the UK Open, and then there was the Premier League, the one that got away, and you don't know what that would have done had he converted that. Would it have opened up doors for him just to be a bit more headstrong in? He's very headstrong, so he changes darts every day, but those missed doubles have got to play on the back of your mind for a massive win in the sport, the Premier League. It's a marathon, and he carved open the opportunity. It just wasn't to be, and he was the stroke man in the deciding leg, and he had the darts as well. You just knew that Michael van Gerwen was going to mop up.
Nicely done. Well, it hasn't resulted in the leg being won, but he will return looking at double eights. Yeah, it was a difficult watch, that last leg, actually, wasn't it? I think Michael van Gerwen was the only man during it that didn't have sympathy for Peter Wright.
Yeah, and you saw Peter Wright when it went 10, it was his dart. He normally marches the hockey. He stood there, he was a broken man, and easier said than done. He needed to tell himself he had the dart, he had the advantage, but
game shot in the fourth
you
leg.
felt there was only one winner, and we were proven right.
Fifth leg, Mensah to throw first. Game on.
Peter is halfway to ending the winless run in 2019 against this opponent. Mensah the menace.
96.
Not particularly menacing so far in this one.
Suljovic average down at just over 86.5, which is
96.
unlike what we're used to seeing from the Austrian.
Yeah, there you see. It's not at the mean level for either of the players, but Peter Wright holding all the aces right now. Started as if it was going to be a feast of high scoring and exhibition finishing, but it hasn't carried on in that vein.
We had 4 maximums in a leg and a half, didn't we? And it just simmered a bit now.
There you see the dozen dart starts.
16.
Suljovic's leg won in 18, and then back-to-back 17 darters for Snakebite.
Suljovic was down pretty sharpish in that leg. He won. He just took him 6 darts to convert, but feeling he needs to hang on to his darts in this leg.
And we have a couple of the quarterfinals this evening already set up. That's Gerwin Price against Nathan Aspinall, and the first match of the night will be Glenn Durrant against Darryl Gurney. This is the other half of the draw. The winner facing Adrian Lewis or Johnny Clayton. An interesting tie. We've got matches still to come after that between Joe Cullen and Rob Cross. Could be another belter. Cullen has his equipment now. His case has arrived and will be on Cross's case. And then the unseeded pair, Richard North and Steve West, looking to make the most of the opportunity that they've created for themselves.
60.
Particularly impressed with the both of them last night. Steve West did a good job on Jamie Hughes, and Richard North showed how resilient he was again after coming from 5-2 down in the first round against Boris Koltsov. He trailed 5-3 last night to Ian White. A 105 finish to save the match using
21. Mensah require 100.
2 top through, got him over the line.
Game shot on the fifth leg.
Suljovic, hold the throw.
Sixth leg, Peter to throw first.
There's the gap. It's a 3-2. Peter Wright doesn't have a European Tour title to his name this year. He has reached the final on one occasion. It's in the European Darts Grand Prix when he lost out to Ian White in a last leg decider.
100.
Yeah, it will be a frustration for Snakebite to have
82.
made it to mid-September without picking up big stage title. Obviously, big stage ranking title. We mentioned the wins in that purple patch earlier this year, which followed on from the World Cup victory, didn't it, with Gary Anderson, that Scottish team finally fulfilling their World Cup of Darts destiny.
Yeah, it's probably taken them too long, hasn't it? But they did win it with relative ease this year. They were a dominant duo, and they could be for years to come in the World Cup.
Becoming a much more competitive tournament that year in, year out. We're getting stronger pairs from different countries.
Yeah, we saw the quarter-final this year in the World Cup between Japan and New Zealand. Both unseeded nations, but again, making the opportunities happen for themselves.
Yeah, of course, the growth of the game around the world. We saw Damon Heta stun the darting scene in the World Series. We've seen the success on the PDC Asian Tour. And other countries, Austria as an example, where it was always perhaps one top player and whoever was the best amateur in the country at times, where they're actually getting a choice. It's starting to have strength in depth.
Yeah, competition for places, which is always good. We've seen Mensah an ever present in the World Cup. He's had a few different partners. Notably in the last few years, Roby John Rodriguez and Zoran Lerchbacher. He actually played in the first World Cup with Mike Langendorf, who's changed nationality now. He's trading Germany.
Well, that was pretty trademark stuff from Suljovic. The 25 for the 36, and Peter Wright looked like he was pulling away, but once again, that pesky Mensah Suljovic has proved to be a problem for Peter.
83.
Won't go away, Suljovic, and it will always play in the back of your mind when you're playing an opponent that you don't have a good record against and haven't beaten for a while.
140.
I don't think there was ever going to be either player going to run away with this match, and we've been proven right. 6 legs played. Players have shared them with 3 each.
174.
Suljovic turning on the style and turning up the heat.
.43.
Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it, Peter? He's making it hard. Had actually been in danger, much like Joe Cullen, had been in danger of losing his seeding on the Euro Tour.
32.
Yeah, they were hovering around that 14, 15, 16 mark, and
both went and won titles.
Yeah, Joe Cullen was we was talking about it before he came here last week, that he may be in the quarterfinals for Gibraltar, but it's definitely not the case now.
Yeah, for Suljovic, a lot of that is down to the fact that he does tend to pick and choose which events he plays in. Saw an interview with Wayne Mardle yesterday saying that players are going to have to do that more and more.
140.
We saw it just over a year ago take its toll on Darryl Gurney, didn't we? Who came to the match play and he just didn't have nothing left, so he's managed his schedule a bit better now.
Peter is a player who does try to play in as much as he can.
140.
Couldn't score as much as he could have done there, but he has left himself just perched on the shoulder of Suljovic here. And now this is very, very tricky. Has to be perfect. The first part achieved.
56.
Made it difficult for himself.
Almost
Almost bailed himself out of trouble, but Peter Wright has a chance to regain control of this contest.
Yeah, he did so well to tidy up the shot, Mensah, with the treble 13. But Peter Wright, 2 at double 12 to break the throw. And he converts. And leads again.
8 leg Peter to throw first.
And Peter Wright has home advantage.
I just feel that one player just needs to put the foot down, move it up a gear or two, and it's theirs, isn't it? It's Peter Wright putting his foot to the metal now.
7 180s in the match, 4 of them coming to Peter Wright. It's been number 8.
140.
Not quite not to be.
Doesn't want to cut it in half straight away.
93.
The last start could be vitally important. Suljovic still in touch. I'm surprised that he's tried to fire all 3 darts. The first one looked like a bit of a blocker.
Yeah,
he's not really in touch now, is he?
Yeah, he should have committed to switching after the first start. 'Cause like you said, Chris, it was very awkward, and Peter Wright.
140.
2 darter.
Peter piles it on. 88 points away.
57.
Taking
Lady
a
requires
5-3
88.
lead and needing just one more to see Suljovic off and see him out. Double 4.
Game shot on the 8th leg.
To back leg to Peter Wright, puts him on the verge of a place in tonight's quarterfinals. Our first victory over Mensur Suljovic in 2019.
47.
It has been grit rather than glamour so far, but that might just suit Snakebite against this particular opponent.
44.
Well, credit Mensur Suljovic. When I first joined the PDC, he was just applied his trade on the European Tour Order of Merit. Really, he didn't travel over to the UK to play, and he'd get in the World Championships via and the European Championships via that Order of Merit. But when they changed the criteria, he committed to the tour, and he's reaping the rewards now. A few European tours, he's won the Championship League of Darts, a regular in the Premier League now. Very unlucky to miss out on the top 4 this year. So it's been a great rise for Mensur Suljovic over the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, he's always mentioned in the mix, isn't he, when we talk about the World Grand Prix. That's coming up very, very soon. It's that double 14 love affair that Suljovic has that is one of the key reasons why he's mentioned as a potential winner.
He's in semi-finals of the Grand Prix on 3 occasions. Just not quite able to make it over the line. You feel last year was his best chance, a 3-0 lead over Peter Wright.
Yeah, he was also ahead against Simon Whitlock, wasn't he, on the brink of booking his place in the decider against Darryl Gurney, but the Wizard hit a spell to see off Suljovic. As Peter found his purple patch at the back end of this match.
That 180 should ensure that Peter Wright gets at least 1 match start. Mensur's got to switch to the 18s.
58.
To leave.
Peter requires 78.
170, but we've seen Peter Wright get rid of his 2 darter already in the match. And it was this way he did it. Across to double 6.
72.
And inside. And careless for Peter Wright, because the likelihood he will return, but he's got a decision to make. Does he attack or split?
Well, Peter Wright
100.
has hit
Peter requires
6 maximums. He wants 6 points to get 6 legs and defeat Mensur Suljovic for the first time this season and book his place in the quarter-finals of the International Darts Open. A 6-3 win for Peter Wright. It wasn't always pretty, but in the end, he raced to the finish line to win 6-3 and move into the last 8 to face the winner of our next match, which features Adrian Jackpot Lewis, a 2-time world champion, and the Ferrets, the former Austrian Darts Open winner, Johnny Clayton. That's coming next.
Setzt sich durch gegen Mensur Suljovic und steht damit natürlich auch im Viertelfinale. Das Aus für den Gentle. Applaus für Mensur. Peter, congratulations. The match started actually well. You played a 12 darter, and then it got strange a bit.
Started off fantastic. I don't think obviously Mensah didn't play very well. I think he was obviously tummy trouble, but you know. Wow. Anyway, I'm through.
Yesterday you were joking and you said, "Oh, against Mensah it's going to be easier." It was actually a bit easier.
Yeah, you know, when you're not feeling very well, the last thing you want to be doing is stand up here trying to play darts. So, you know, I'll take that win. That's it.
Couple of Peter Wright fans here in the house. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, obviously I won Risa before, and these guys made me win Risa, so hopefully I can do it again.
Cool. Thank you very much. Peter Wright, ihn sehen wir heute Abend wieder. Ihr seid auch ein Grund, weshalb er sich auch zutraut, das Ding hier zu gewinnen. Und Mensah hatte offenbar mit dem Bauch so ein paar Probleme. Magenschmerzen, konnte deshalb nicht so spielen, wie er es wollte.